Going to see now B'siyata D'Shmaya, Maseches Peah, Daf Nun Dalet. Rav Kadnoches Lesamon Omar, he said, Anob Hu Ben Azzai Docha. I'm like Ben Azzai. That's what he told for the people from Bavel. Oz Vehadar. So older man asked him, Shnei Arugim Ze Agav Ze. If you find two people that are killed, one on top of the other, and the din is ki motzei, it says in Parshas Egel Arufa that you have to measure to the closest ear, to the closest city, and bring a young calf. The question is, you have found two people for sure. So Rav Shin Orphan Amalei, he said no. The old man said no. Ein Orphan Amalei Lame. Rav said why? Amalei, the old man answered, Tachten Neishru Tamun. The bottom one doesn't count because he's hidden. Alienation tzaf, he's floating. And then in the Torah is Ba'adoma, he cannot be floating. You don't find him. So the bottom one is hidden. Tzalek Lahocha, also gave a Rabbi. He came back to Eretz Yisrael. The Rabbi said, Yos Amalei. He said, good to you. Different drasha. Only if you find one, not if you find two, there's no din of Egel Arufa. Rabbi Rabbi Omar, Hoysham Amas Mayim Apnei Kosode. Im Oikes Mechesh Mitzad Zenes Zeh Ein Nidin Kishura. Nidin Kishura. So here we're going back to the din of we're talking now about the halacha of Shikhcha. If it's a shura, a full line, it means 3 amrim, then it's considered one shura. So he says, if there's amas hamayim, there's a stream of water, im sh'oikes hamachareisha metzad zeh, v'noisa metzad zeh, in nidin kishura. If he has to pick up the machareisha, the plow tool, and he has to put it to the other place. He cannot just go from one place to the next without picking it up. Then it's not considered a shura because it's 2 separate areas. If not, if you can just pull it from one place to the next, then it's mitzaref the bundles from one side to the other side. It's a good question. If it's mitzaref, if we say the hefsek that he came the next day you cannot combine. So let's say you did one, if you got one this day, and the next day if you got another 2, can we combine it? Yashav lechel, Yashav lishon, he stopped in the middle. So maybe the din of Shikhcha is only if he gets all the din that can be kishura. That's if he got 3 in a shot, it's only if it happens in one shot. If it takes have to take a break, maybe even if it's 3, it's considered like each one separate. The tachon, the bottom one is Shikhcha. Elyon, he made a kinyan already, so the Elyon is not Shikhcha because he picked it up. The fact that he forgot it later, it's already, once he made a kinyan, he picked it up, but the bottom one is Shikhcha because the bottom one he never picked up. The then if machusa, if it's covered, it's not considered Shikhcha because the reason why he forgot it because it was covered. He claims that this din, that you have 2 bundles, is only if you didn't forget the top one. If you've also forgot the top one, then it doesn't work. As the Abzer ki Abyoyne, the Abyoyne Omavzeichas HaKashen, Ken Abzer Omavzeichas Elyon. So he says this din, Oh, so he goes l'chayra. Which case does he go? On this brisa here, that the Elyon is not Shikhcha, and the Tacht is also not Shikhcha. The Elyon is not Shikhcha because he's Zocha boy. And the Tacht is not Shikhcha because he's Mechusa. So he explains a different hesber. Why do you say the Tacht is not Shikhcha? Because since he is Zocha the Elyon, it means that he was Zocha in the Elyon already. So since the Elyon is not Shikhcha, the Tacht can also not become Shikhcha, because there is this one part of this pile is not Shikhcha. So the if there's no simple pattern how to collect the bundles, you can never consider certain bundles Shikhcha unless everything around is clean already. This is a recap what we had till now. If you have two bundles, it's Shikhcha. Shloisha and Shikhcha. Shnei tzibur zeisim, charuvim Shikhcha. Shloisha, piles of olives. You pick the olives, you make piles of them, and then you gather them together. Shnei hutzne pishten Shikhcha. Stalks of flax. You forgot to pick them up. Shloisha, if you forgot 3 stalks and a Shikhcha. Shnei gerois parrot. Now we go back to parrot, to grapes. 2 grapes fell down on the floor while you were cutting. And some grapes fell down. If it's 3 grapes and a parrot. Shnei shabalim leket. You cut the grain, and some stalks fall down. They don't become part of the sheaf, of the bundle. So if it's 3, it's not. Now kulam, all these things we just mentioned now, the number 3, Shammai oim shloisha laniyim ba'arba lebalabais. According to Shammai, the number is 4. According to Shammai, there is a din that even if it's 3, it still belongs for the ani. Rabun babchiyah b'shem Rabbi Yochanan asam kimin gam. So he's explaining that when you say Shnei, and where does it go? Asam kimin gam. The Chayri goes that it's such a case, it's not Shikhcha. You know, gam is a gamma. It's a Greek letter that's like a dalad. And he says, asam kimin gam. It's not so clear. Does he want to say then it is Shikhcha or not? And so lo yoma el tziburin hazeisim loy. He says tziburim, 2 piles of zeisim, you forgot to pick them up. But if there's 2 olives that fell down and if you got to pick them, loy, then there is no din Shikhcha. Ma ben tziburim, ma ben zeisim. Tziburim gemar melacha, zeisim and gemar melacha. The fact that you have 2 pieces of olives on the floor doesn't mean it's Shikhcha. He didn't finish yet. But if you have already piles and then you forgot to pick up the piles, then there's a din of Shikhcha on that. Omer b'hoshi, roim es yisi zeisim im b'pchia godl. Omeli kol zayis means 3 here. Kol in zayis at yochel lifshet yatchav litloi ene Shikhcha. Rabbi Glick kivish alle v'shakcha rei Shikhcha. Kol zayis at yochel lifshet yatchav litloi ene Shikhcha. If you can still, even if you passed it already, but you can still stretch out your hand and take something from there, it's not Shikhcha. Now, it doesn't say here, if you're talking that he didn't pick anything, I don't know. It could be it means it doesn't. This Gemara is brought down somewhere else also. So the Shikhcha here, it can be either interpreted as you forgot to pick anything from the tree, or you started and you didn't finish off everything. It sounds more probable that you did some picking already, but you forgot and you want to go back. That's what more simple meaning is. Chatzi eshkel parrot. Tana abchi chatzi eshkel shalom parrot. Even a half of a eshkel. Eshkel is the full cluster of grapes. Now in the Mishnah we said parrot here. Shnei gagarim parrot. Only 2 grapes. Here it says Chatzi Eshkel parrot, and it says even Eshkel Shalom, but Tonish Nega Garam parrot. It doesn't work out with the Mishnah. Amma bekoitze manich tachta gefen. Ibol laktem achikach. V'shochich Eshkel also loshel bekachte. It's a different story. We're not talking it fell down while cutting. You let it underneath. You just cut and you let it there, and then you come to pick it, just like similar to bundles. So then even if it's a full cluster, it's still considered parrot. It sounds like 2 nuts. Now go back to Shnei Hutznei Pishten. It says Shnei Hutznei. Mishnah says Eine Shikhcha. Shnei Hutznei Pishten Shikhcha, it says by us. Suing can mean sinfan. If they were made like a sinfan. Sinfan, I would say, is like a V shape. Like a sinfan means that things that can hold up something. Like a it's in a way that one is next to each other in a certain shape that they're paired together. They pair together. Then it's not Shikhcha. So this Gemara here, a song can mean gam. It goes together with this. A song can mean gam. Song can mean gam, and this is supposed to be Hayasum can mean sinfa. It's a question. I would say this Gemara here is a hemshech. Hayasum can mean sinfa. So this Gemara should be here. This piece of the Gemara should be should be next to this one here. Echat Chemeshava means that the nere שהונחו זה הצד is going on Not sure if it's going on Rabbi Yochanan or he's saying it's independent statement. Omer above Tamar de Shammai. But Shammai holds that all these numbers are 4. 3 is still Shikhcha. It's not 3 numbers is still for the Ger Yasam is 3. Tamar de Basil only Ger Tazavoisam only 2. If it's number 3, it's where you don't have to leave it. No, they're both going with the same pasuk. They go both with the same drasha. It says again to be taking the first pasuk, the pasuk in Pashas Re'eh. Just read it today. Today was Shavuos Tafshin Peah. Shavuos. We read this pasuk. You can learn the pasuk 2 ways. If it's 3, Hashem says laniyim. Yeah, for these people. Hashem says no. If it's 3, yeah, it should be for the balabais. You can say the pasuk either way. If it's a big bundle, it has 2 sa'ah, the measure of 2 sa'ah. It's quite big, so it cannot be considered Shikhcha. How about if you have 2 bundles, and so again we know the number 2 is not Shikhcha, right? Still says 3, but these 2 combined has a sa'im. Let's say each one has a saw. So l'chayra, you could say there's 2 reasons. It's kal v'chomer. If 1 bundle of sasayim goes for the balabayas, kal v'chomer, 2 bundles that are in combination of sasayim. And we always know that the more bundles you forget, the more svara is to give it for the balabayas. This is a machlokes of Gamliel v'chachamim. Gamliel, let's see. Let's see. If there's more bundles that are forgotten, is that better for the owner or worse? Obviously. Chum answered, obviously making his power better. So it should for sure not be. No, it's 2 separate. But if it be 3, it's 3. Then if it's not Shikhcha, if it's 3, we understand it's not Shikhcha. But if it's 2 and each one is not Sasayim, then it is Shikhcha. Comma. Now we'll go to a comma. Standing grain. So we know there's 2 types of Shikhcha. The Shikhchas comma and Shikhchas oimer. You forget to pick up the bundles and you forget to cut a certain amount of grain, a certain part of your field. So if you have that area that you forgot, there's an amount of 2 sa'ah. In that Shikhcha, ein bas sa'im, al ru'uya sa'im. This crop didn't yield, but really it didn't come out such big kernels. So it says it's a very tiny seed, and it's very barley is the biggest size. So if there would be in that area growing barley, then we would have sasayim, and mele it is not Shikhcha. What do we see? Only in such a bundle that you can take it. It means if it's so heavy, then forget about it. It's not Shikhcha. It's Tani. Hey Chavid. Now we'll go a certain interesting. The word Hey Chavid here is like starting of a statement. Like what? Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Make an interesting shaila. Shachach oime betzidoy. Im tav dina oimer de v'hakoshik. And dina gadish chayv sham esil. Shachach shnei oimer betzidoy. And dina oimer chayv sham esil. Im tav dina gadish. and a nidin kishura. If you got a bundle b'tzidoi in the side shel yesh boy sasayim, shel yesh boy sasayim, you have a oimer that has to sign, and you forgot another oimer in the side. Imtov din oimer, if you consider yesh boy sasayim like a bundle that's by Shammai, right? Still says consider the Godish. Divaka Shikhcha. If it's considered the oimer, then 2 is a Shikhcha. Into then a Godish. If you make that the one that has to sign like a Godish, Machloik is with Shammai with Hillel, because the Shammai with Hillel argue if you forget a oimer next to a Godish, Davar Mesuyim. So it's Machloik. The Shammai says Davar Mesuyim is not Shikhcha. According to Basil, it doesn't matter. Davar Mesuyim is still Shikhcha. Im Tavdina Oimer, because we say that according to Basil, so that piece, Im Tavdina Oimer, it's considered a Oimer. But what do you mean it's considered a Oimer? According to Basil, it's not a Oimer. Shachach Oimer Echad B'tzidoi. Means you're right that that piece itself is not Shikhcha, but it does not have a din of a Godish yet. It's taka not Shikhcha, but it doesn't mean that then one next to it is also not Shikhcha. Shochach shnei oimer b'tzidoi. Again, we have here a bundle of 2, and that according to Basil is not Shikhcha, but it doesn't have a shame of a Godish. Into dina oimer machloik v'shamay Basil. If it's considered a oimer, then according to Shammai Basil it's a machloikas. What's the machloikas? Because it's already 3. It's 3. And according to Basil, it's not Shikhcha. Im Tavdini Godish Ein a Nidin Kishura, then it's not. Then it is a problem. Im Tavdini Oim Machlik Yisham Basil. Then according to Basil, at least we have 3. Im Tavdini Godish Ein Nidin Kishura. And it means, and Beis Hillel, in the Beis Hillel, eine Nitzel. Aber bei Shammai, Nitzel. Mshem Dover Mesuyim. We had this before already. Shammai has a din of Dover Mesuyim. So this is what he's saying here. Interesting case where we can have Machloek for Shammai Basil in 2 different areas. One is a story that two stories. One story is that there was a Yesh by Sasayim and he forgot one, and then we have to make a Chakira. What is this Oimer Yesh by Sasayim considered a Godish? Then Shammai says it's Medor Mesuyim, and if it's not a Godish, forget about it. However, if it's two of the Oimrim, then if it's a Godish, obviously the Shammai is good to go. But if it's a Oimer, then it's better according to Basil because we have three. Omer B'yena. כדרך בסדך, השכחת בסדך, אוי משיב בשסיים, משכח אין השריק, חומש בשסיים, ולט שיבולם. You take the shiboilus. So there is he's trying to say that you don't just use the kernels, you use the whole shiboilus, the whole stalk. Even if it's short, here vilvad means you should. It's important to recognize this word vilvad means here in the Yerushalmi language not to minimize, to maximize. It's important to realize this language of Yerushalmi here. We finish this Mishnah. This is a very famous Mishnah that we've had many times already. A comma can save a oimer or a comma. The oimer a bundle ein meticulously a comma. So let's understand what it means. So he started cutting, and he did not cut a certain part, or he picked up bundles and he forgot a bundle. But later in the field, he's still at a point where he did not even cut yet. So one part he picked up already and he forgot, and then there's a certain part that's totally not cut. So he can use that new area that he's about to cut as to save the bundle that he forgot to pick up. Because since it's close to each other and he can do them in both shots, you can cut this continuous area plus pick up the bundle that he forgot. That's enough to combine it, to make that should not be Shikhcha, the bundle or the uncut area. However, the other story, Oimer, if he forgot to cut something or to pick up a bundle, and then he reminds himself when he's going to the next bundle, he don't say, oh, okay, since I'm standing here and it's very close, since I can pick up this one, I can also pick up the one that I forgot, or the comma that I forgot. No, doesn't work. The oimer cannot save anything. Only thing that can save is the comma. It's Shikhcha. If it's one sa'ah that's already cut and one is still connected, they are not mitzvah for two sa'ah. Because it's like you forgot one sa'ah to cut and one sa'ah of a bundle, and there's no way that these two can be combined. So the question is, we have to understand what is the case here. have to make a case that the bundle was forgotten, the comma was forgotten first, and then the bundle. And mainly the bundle cannot save the standing grain, because the bundle does not save, as we had before. Or we could say even simple, that if you got both of them, nothing left to save. So the whole idea of saving is only if you remind yourself when it comes to the second point. Well, let's say if I got both, if I got the cart, and then if I got to pick up the bundle, so everything is forgotten. But we need to say it because of a different reason. We'll get to that. We had this before already. There's a different cheshbon here. But simple, the Mishnah can mean very simple. If I got to pick up both. The whole idea of saving is if he reminds himself when it comes to the second point. But if you forgot, so everything is forgotten. And you cannot say it's two saw, because one of them is caught, one of them is standing. They don't combine. Again, shumba b'tzolim and it's starving. It's also two kinds. If you got one pack of onions, garlic and onions, they don't combine to the amount of society. Now comes a very interesting Mishnah. I'll finish with this. Rabbi Yossi Oimer, im bos reshus ha'oni be'emtza, ein mitztarfen. So this Mishnah is very ambiguous and amazing, what it means, the reasoning of it. So let's translate this Mishnah now. She'over oni sham ha'ri l'chosei mafzik ben sa'olaso. The poor man walked by. That makes a hefzik, and then it's not mistarv to sa'ah, and meile it is considered Shikhcha. But we'll see the Gemara maybe a different pshat. Right now we'll say this simple meaning of the Mishnah, since it's written in a very wonderful way, so we can say our own pshat, and we'll see in the Gemara maybe a different pshat. So we finish now Be'ez Hashem Yisbarach. We finish now Daf Nun Dalet and Nun Hey, 54 and 55.